We'd like to thank you guys for coming out and joining us on this really, really warm day. So please find some nice shade to sit under and listen to some flute music, some storytelling from the Anishinaabe people. Joining me today, I have a few friends. Severin on piano. He'll be doing some backup accompaniment. Severin is the musical director of the Big Top Chautauqua, located in Bayfield, Wisconsin. Also, we have Mr. Kevin Soulier, Miskobineshiin, singing for us. And you'll hear a little bit more of his story later on in the program.
All stories have a beginning. And in the beginning, there was nothing but Gitchimanido, the creator. The universe, it was dark. And when Gitchimanido would send out a voice, that voice would return without being heard. Gitchimanido was lonely, and then Gitchimanido had a bawajigan, a vision. It was a place full of galaxies. And Gitchimanido, he saw Earth, a key. And he saw all the beings that lived there, the four-legged, the birds, the creatures that crawl, and the creatures that swim. And Gitchimanido heard all the sounds of the earth, the crashing of the waves, the rumble of volcanoes, the thunder, and the wind. And he heard the sounds of the animals. And he also heard the beautiful voices of the songbirds, the Beneshiag. Gitchimanido also felt the emotions of the creatures on earth, of love, hate, jealousy, wonder, contentment, sadness, happiness, fear, and courage. Gitchimanido understood that this vision must be fulfilled to bring into being what had been seen and felt. First, the creator, Gitchimanido, made all the galaxies, the stars and planets, and all the moons of the universe, including the earth. And Gitchimanido filled the earth with the oceans, lakes, rivers, and all kinds of land, mountains, plains, forests, and deserts. Gitchimanido made the 4 kinds of plants, the vegetables, trees, grasses, and flowers. And he put them on earth where they would be the most beautiful and the most useful. The Creator made all the animal beings. And for the first time, animals flew, walked, and swam on the earth. Humankind. The Anishinaabe were created in all shapes, sizes, colors, languages, and ways of living. The Anishinaabe were given several gifts not given to the plants or animals. The first was the ability to dream, to bawaj again, to invent ways to make our dreams come true, and also a special gift. Every one of us was given some of the mystery of the Creator. And then the Creator made the laws to govern all creation. Moons circle all the planets, and winds circle the earth. Fire, Ishkade, gives light to create life, and take it as well. Rocks become sand or melt in the heat, and then mold back into rock, only to become sand again. All creatures experience birth, growth, death, and rebirth. And this is the great circle of things.
Oh, Chimigwich Kevin. Yes, yes. We all have creation stories, stories of where we come from. And our stories were gifted to us by the Creator, Gitchimanidu. We were taught as Ojibwe that everybody's stories, creation stories, are true because everybody's creation stories were gifts from our spirits and from our Creator to help guide us in times of trouble and in times of need. It's always good to share our culture, our history, and our stories. And in doing so, we pay homage to those who had come before us. After the Creator had made Mother Earth, he would look down on his creation, and he would realize then that he would need somebody to walk through all of creation and to name everything that he had created. So Gitchimanidu would place down original man, and he would task original man to walk through creation and to name everything in creation. And as original man did this, he spent much time with our animal relatives. And he realized that our animal relatives had a unique wisdom unto themselves, and that we as humans would do well to learn from our animal relatives. Take, for instance, the beaver, who represents wisdom for the Anishinaabe. The reason why he represents wisdom is because the beaver will make a dam, and he will create an estuary that all other life benefit from. So the Anishinaabe, the Ojibwe, the Chippewa say in this sense that the beaver represents that wisdom. As original man spent time with his animal relatives, he would also realize that they came in twos, yet he was all alone. So he would go before the Creator and he would ask the Creator, Creator, why does everything come in twos, yet I am all alone? And the Creator would respond with, I will send somebody to walk, talk, and play with you. And he would send to him the Mayingan, the wolf. Original man would say, Creator, what would you have me do with this wolf? He said, together, you and the wolf will walk through creation, and you will name everything in creation. So, as the two set off upon their task, they became bonded like brothers. And after they had wandered through the Creator's garden and had named everything in creation, then again they would go before the Creator and they would say, Creator, now with our task complete, now what will you have of us? And the Creator would respond with, now you must go your separate ways. And it broke their hearts to hear this. The Creator explained that the oncoming people will not understand your bond, and they will fear you, and they will hunt you. So from that day forth, original man and Mayingan the wolf had went their separate ways. This next song that I'm going to share with you on the flute represents that loss of that relationship. And if you listen to the flute, you will be able to hear those wolves calling back and forth to each other. The wolf also represents humility in the Anishinaabe culture, because the wolf, it is said, has taught us how to hunt as a pack and how to treat each other like a family. We have prophecies in Ojibwe that talk about the wolf, and it says that what happens to the wolf will happen to the Anishinaabe. So we always take care of our four-legged animals and relatives and make sure that we give them the respect that they deserve, because if not for them, we as humans would not be here. This next song I'm going to share with you is called Mayingan, the Wolf. Oh, Chimigwich, everyone. Nice, nice. I hope you guys are all enjoying yourself in the shade and enjoying the flute and the stories and the song. The next story that we have coming up is a universally shared story. And when we listen to it and hear it, maybe you'll be able to connect to that. But when we look at our stories, we start to realize that we have more in common, that there are more things to connect us than disconnect us. Oh yes, this next song I'm going to invite my friend Kevin from the Red Cliff Band of Lake Superior Chippewa Indians, Miskobineshiin, to share with us his gifts of singing. And he's going to sing us a song that reflects that relationship of the man and the wolf called Wawanu. Aho, Chimigwich, everybody. Thank you very much.
Lower down through the clouds to meet his mother, stepping lightly out of love, respect and honor, asked to walk the garden, naming all creation, Nishime Mahingan Bimose Wadaki.
They walk the earth. Listen to their song.
The lonely path he traveled, howling at the moon. Oh. He saw creation came in twos, yet he was all alone. Creator heard his prayer and sent to him a friend. Nishime Maingan Bimose Wadaki Bizendai Jinagamun Wawanu. They walk the earth as brothers, howling at the moon. Everything is intertwined and everything belongs. And they are also brothers, brothers to us all. Nishime Mahingan Bimose Wadaki Bizendai Jinagamu Wawanu. Can you howl with us? Oh. Oh. Now with the task completed, the naming of all things, they were told from this day forth they must go on their separate ways. But what happens to the one will happen to the other.
Nishime Maingan Bimose Wadakin Bizendai Jinagamu.
Chimigwich. Bujun and Dinaway Magani Dug, Miskobineshiin Nagamon and Dijinikas, Giwe Benujian, Kevin Soulier English, Mang and Dodam, Weekwayang, Gaye Gaba Squabakang, Nandun Jaba. Hello, everybody. I am called Singing Cardinal, or in English, I'm known as Kevin Soulier. My family comes from the Loon clan, and I also am from Red Cliff, Wisconsin, the Red Cliff Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa. This next story I'm going to tell you talks about the Great Flood Many cultures all across the earth have a flood story, and this one was passed down to us through generations of Ojibwe storytelling. May winds go a long time ago. After the Great Spirit, the Kichimanido, created everything, there was a harmony on Aki, Earth. And the Anishinaabe got along and helped each other and cared for the earth. And in return, the earth gave her bounty. But then the Anishinaabe forgot their peaceful ways, and they began fighting each other. Brother against brother, neighbor against neighbor, and then nations fought against nations. People were killing over hunting grounds and other things, and that harmony and respect for all living things no longer existed on earth. But then, Kichimanido sought to purify the earth, and he decided to do so with nibe, with water. And it came in the form of a great flood. It rained and it rained and it did not end. People went to the mountains, but the water kept rising higher and higher. Even the Beneshiin, the birds, had nowhere to land. The flood killed all the Anishinaabe and most of the Awais and Yesug, the wild animals. Wainabuju, half human and half spirit, and a great teacher to the Ojibwe people, he was able to survive, and he climbed onto this giant log to keep from drowning. And all kinds of animals joined him on that log, and they would all take turns resting on the log before returning to the water. And the birds, they would do the same, flying around and then resting on the log as they searched for land. But the whole world was covered with this great floodwater. But Wainabuju told all his animal friends that he had an idea. He would try and swim to the bottom of the water and find some akins, some earth or some dirt. And with this small bit of akins, I believe we can have a new land. But we will also need the help of the four winds and of Kichimanido, the creator. So Wainabuju dove in, and he was gone a very long time. All of the animals feared that he had drowned. And finally he came to the surface, out of breath, and when he could speak, he told the animals, "The nibe is too deep. There is no bottom." Well, after sitting in silence for a long time, the graceful Mom, the loon, he said, "Well, I can make it. I can find some akins. I dive a very long way to get my food." And so Mang dove in, and he was gone for a really long time as well. Everyone was worried. But when he finally reached the surface, the loon was gasping for air, and he had no akins. And Mang nervously pronounced, "There is no bottom." Well, Jingabis was next to step up. "Everyone knows I can dive the deepest. It's in my name." The hell diver, Jingabis. While he went down and he was gone for a very long time as well. Everyone thought for sure he didn't make it. But Jingabis, well, he came to the surface as well, out of breath just like the others, and repeated what was told before. "There is no bottom." Well, many more animals all tried and failed. Even the Mikanek, the turtle. Well, it seemed that no one could get the much-needed akins from the bottom. And they all cried together, "There is no bottom." Then, a soft voice was heard. "I can do it." Well, at first, no one could see who had spoken up. But then the small Wajashk, the muskrat, stepped forward and he said, "I'm gonna try." Well, everyone started laughing. I mean, if all these other animals can't make it, how is this tiny little Wajash going to? But Wayne and Boozhoo heard everyone laughing, and he said, only Gitchimanido can place judgment on others. We will let the Wajash try. So down into the water went the little muskrat, and he was gone for a very, very long time, longer than any of the other animals. And it was so long they were all convinced that he had given his life trying. But deep below the surface, Wajash, he swam deeper and deeper, and very weak with no air, but he could see the bottom. I must keep reaching. And he kept trying, but he lost consciousness. And as he began to float back to the surface, one of the animals, he saw bubbles coming out of the water and cried out, Nashke, look! And Wajash's little body floated to the surface. Wayne and Boozhoo swam over and brought her back to the log. Brothers and sisters, Wajash has gone too long without air. He is no longer with us. He is with the Creator now. And everywhere, a mourning song was heard across the water as the little muskrat spirit passed into the spirit world. But then, Wayne and Boozhoo exclaimed, Nashke, look, there's something in his paw. And all the animals gathered close as Wayne and Boozhoo opened up Wajash's little paw, revealing a small ball of dirt. And all the animals rejoiced. Wajash had sacrificed his life so life on a key could begin anew. And then just then the Mikinek, the turtle, swam forward, and he offered his shell to hold that small ball of Akins. Use my back to bear the weight of this Akins. And with the help of the Creator, we can make a Ki-Oshki, a new earth. And Wayne and Boozhoo placed that ball of dirt on Mikinek's back. And then the four winds blew in all directions and scattered the earth about. That tiny ball of Akins began to grow, and it became this large Minis, this big island that kept getting bigger and bigger. And still, Mikinek bore the weight of the earth on his back. Wayne and Boozhoo and all the animals danced and celebrated, and it got bigger and bigger, and suddenly the four winds stopped. The water became still, and a Gitchiminis, a great island, sat in the middle of the water. The Anishinaabe called this Mikinakominis, or Turtle Island. And the world today knows this great island as North America. We still hold the Mikinak, the turtle, in high regard because he sacrificed his life and made life possible for Turtle Island and all of the coming generations. And Wajashk, well, the muskrat's been living the good life as well. Minnow Bemadazawin. No matter if the marshes have been drained or their homes destroyed in the name of progress, Wajash continues to survive. And they do their part today in remembering the Great Flood by building their homes in the shape of a small ball of dirt. Chi-mi-gwitch. Miu, that's it.
Miigwech, everybody, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We want to try to give you a little bit of everything, a little bit of storytelling, a little bit of history, a little bit of our culture. And this next song and story is about the Dawagan, the drum. We as Ojibwe, we usually don't do anything without having a drum present, because to us that drum represents the heartbeat of Mother Earth, and it's the first rhythm that we hear while we're in our mother's wombs for that first 9 months, bringing us comfort. And there are many different stories on how the drum came to the Ojibwe people, but this story I would like to share with you is about the Lakota, or is it the Dakota? It's the Dakota and the Ojibwe, who were once considered traditional enemies. But then the Dakota, they would face an enemy unlike any other that they had faced before. They would face the might of the U.S. cavalry, and they would come in and they would totally annihilate this Dakota village. There was one survivor. Her name was Tail Feather Woman. And Tail Feather Woman dove into the water, and she would break a reed off of the bank of that water, and she would breathe through it. And now the story goes that she would be under the water for 4 days. And while she was under the water for 4 days, breathing through that reed, she would have a bawajige, a vision. And in this vision, she saw 4 horses from the east, and they were carrying a drum. And they would lower this drum down to the people. And when the coast was clear and it was safe, she would retreat to the neighboring Dakota village, where she would tell the people what happened. And she would also tell them about her vision. And the medicine people of that community would interpret that as the horses from the east being the Anishinaabe people, as in our creation stories we migrated from the east coast. And the medicine people then would make this drum, and after they said all the prayers and put all the beads where they needed to go, they then would travel to what some say is the village of Mille Lacs, Minnesota. And when the Ojibwe looked out to see thousands of Dakota warriors, they thought surely their number had been up. But instead it was Tail Feather Woman who came forward and offered the drum in a peaceful peace treaty. And the idea was that the warriors who had seen each other in battle, who had maybe even killed each other, would be seated on that drum across from one another. And for the first time, their hearts beat with the same beat. And for the first time, their voices sang with the same prayer. This is the story on how 2 warring nations came together in a peaceful peace treaty. And I think our world leaders would do good to learn from that story. This next song I'm going to share with you is a song that me and my son Nature would sing for his little sister on the shores of Gitche Gumee. This song is called Inde Aki, which is my daughter's name and means my heart of the earth in English.
Ha
No, miigwech. Chimigwech. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with us on this warm day. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Usually I tell my audience, you know, when I'm playing flute music to, if you show up, make sure you bring your blanket and your pillow, because flute music is really, really mellow. And some of the flute players I had learned from, they always talked about traveling to other worlds as they listen to the flute. We as the Anishinaabe, again, we have creation stories for everything out there. We talked a little bit about some of them. The flood story, for instance, you know, is a shared story. Every culture all across Mother Earth has some sort of a flood story. And when we start to look at history in that way, we start to see that there are more things connecting us than disconnecting us. And for the Earth's people, the second people that came after the flood, they were still having a really hard time. And the Creator would look down at the people, and he would task 7 grandfathers to look over the people. And they would look down on the people, and they would realize that the people lived out of balance with harmony. And so they would task a messenger to travel to the earth to look for somebody who could contain the wisdom of the 7 grandfathers. And this Ashkabewis, this messenger, he would travel to earth 6 times without finding anybody. Finally, on his 7th time, he would travel in all 4 directions, where he would come upon a village. And in this village, there was a newborn baby boy. And he had heard the people of the village talk about this baby boy. He realized that this baby had been untouched by corruption and pain and can serve as a vessel for the teachings of the 7 grandfathers. So the Ashkabewis would go to the wigwam of the young boy. He would take him in his arms, and then he would bring him to the lodge of the 7 grandfathers. And the 7 grandfathers would look at the young boy and realize that he was too young. And he would tell him, take the baby boy and visit all the quarters of the universe. Let him gain experience. So they would do as they were told, returning to the lodge when the boy was 7. And as they walked into the lodge, the 7 grandfathers had a vessel in the center of the lodge. And within this vessel contained the 7 grandfather teachings, which each grandfather would gift the young boy. The 7 grandfather teachings of love, respect, humility, honesty, truth, courage, and wisdom. The grandfathers would then realize that they would need somebody to guide this young child back to Mother Earth to gift those 7 grandfather teachings to the people. So they would look again, and they would come upon the otter. And it was the otter who led the little boy back to Mother Earth, stopping at 7 different stopping points. They would meet a spirit that would teach him the secret of each of the grandfather teachings. He would finally make his way back to his village, where he gifted the people the 7 grandfather teachings. He would say, these 7 grandfather teachings come from the unconditional love of the Creator, and I gift them to you. The 7 grandfather teachings of love, respect, humility, wisdom, truth, honesty, and courage are guides to get us to what the Anishinaabe call the Minobamadaziwin, the good life, the good path, a life without conflict, a life without contradiction. We have to ask ourselves, do I live a life without conflict? Do I live a life without contradiction? These stories are ways, tried, tested, and true, that have guided people for thousands and thousands of years. My grandmother, again, would always say, a long time ago, back when the world was forever cold. But these stories echo back from here to forever. Miigwech, thank you. Thank you, guys. The word for warrior in the Ojibwe language is ogichita. And when we break that down into English, the O stands for he or she, and the gichi stands for great or big, and the oda stands for heart. So we're actually calling our warriors, we're actually saying he or she is great of heart. He or she loves the people unconditionally and are willing to stand there on the front line and protect the land and protect their people. One of the Ogichida, we respect our veterans. One of the key figures in our culture, where we come from, Lake Superior, we hold high regard to Chief Buffalo. And the buffalo also represents respect in the 7 grandfather teachings. The buffalo gives all of himself to us, and we as the people in turn use all of the buffalo to show that we have respect for him. Chief Buffalo was able to look 7 generations ahead and to sign treaties and to think about those people in his life who he may never even meet, but because of those teachings of the 7 generations, he had unconditional love for them, and he was able to he had unconditional love for his people, and more to share some of his amazing story and journey. Again, Mr. Kevin Soulier, Miskobineshiin. Aha, Miigwech, everybody. Thank you very much.
You know, about 200 years ago, it was the La Pointe Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa, before we kind of ventured off into Red Cliff and Bad River. And Chief Buffalo is actually my 3 times great-grandfather. When we went to Red Cliff, actually most of Red Cliff was Chief Buffalo's relatives of some sort. He had quite a few kids, actually. But many of you may know that Madeline Island up in northwestern Wisconsin is the sacred home of the Ojibwe Nation. And it was Madeline Island that our people received our government annuities. But when President Zachary Taylor signed the Indian removal order in February 6 of 1850, he claimed that moving us from Madeline and the surrounding communities to Sandy Lake, Minnesota would protect the Ojibwe from injurious whites. While the Wisconsin legislature resisted the order and put aside the plans for removal. But Alexander Ramsey, the territorial governor of Minnesota, and Indian sub-agent John Watrous conspired on a plan to force the northern Wisconsin Ojibwe to Minnesota anyway. And as the 2 men stood to gain personal, economic, and political benefits from the Ojibwe removal, Watrous announced that he would only pay future annuities at Sandy Lake, Minnesota, instead of Maniwanikanning, Madeline Island, over 150 miles away. Well, this change resulted in the Sandy Lake tragedy. Hundreds of Ojibwe starved or died of exposure in Minnesota and on the journey home because of the promised annuity supplies were late by months, and they were contaminated and inadequate. In a later letter, Chief Buffalo described the conditions. And when a message was sent to me by our Indian agent to come and get our pay, I lost no time in arising and complying with my agent's voice. And when I reached my point of destination, verily my agent fed me with very bad flour. It resembled a green clay. Well, soon I became sick, and many of my fellow Chippewas were also taken sick, and soon the results were manifested by the death of over 200 persons of my tribe. And for this calamity I laid blame to the provisions issued to us. Well, once he returned to La Pointe, Chief Buffalo took several actions to prevent the removal. He and other leaders petitioned the U.S. government for the next 2 years to no avail. They won considerable sympathy from whites who learned of the tragedy at Sandy Lake, Minnesota. Newspapers throughout the Lake Superior region, they ran editorials condemning the removal effort. But Ramsey and Watrous continued to work to remove the Ojibwe to Sandy Lake, Minnesota. Watrous said they considered Sandy Lake a graveyard, while young Ojibwe men in Wisconsin were outraged at these developments, and the threat of a violent revolt grew. Well, Chief Buffalo called on the services of his well-spoken sub-agent Oshoga and his son-in-law Benjamin Armstrong, a literate white interpreter who had married Chief Buffalo's daughter. Armstrong drew up a petition that the 92-year-old Chief Buffalo personally delivered via canoe and portage to President Taylor in Washington, D.C. He rowed his canoe all the way to Washington, D.C. And Chief Buffalo convinced President Taylor to stop the removal order, which resulted that we got to remain in northern Wisconsin. With Madeline Island, Manning-Waninconning continued to be the heart of our generation, for Chief Buffalo's generation, and for the future 7 generations. So even after all of Chief Buffalo's efforts, the Ojibwe people still struggled. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, many Native children were sent to boarding schools. And a lot of us are just discovering some of this news still today about family members who were lost. A number of years ago, great Native artist Keith Secola wrote a song to help heal. And I'm going to sing that song for you right now. This is Say Your Name. Say your name, show your face, leave no trace of your shame. Tears come falling, 500 years. Prayers of our children, late at night, down the hall, monsters scream, roam and call. Don't tell no one, forget that name. Prayers of our children, say their names, show their faces, leave no traces of their games. Tears start falling, 500 years. Prayers of our children, prayers of our children, take these tears. Chimigwich.
Chimigwich, Kevin, thank you for coming down and sharing your beautiful, beautiful gifts with us. Another guy that we had invited down as a special guest, Mr. Severin Behnen, and very, very gifted piano player, the musical director of the Big Top Chautauqua, which hosts beautiful, amazing artists like Willie Nelson and Ziggy Marley. Yeah, that was a fun show. Having Willie Nelson come up into my wigwam and hang out for a little while was pretty cool. I had to tell Willie, hey, Willie, we as Ojibwe, we smoke fish, not drugs, right, buddy? Hey, just kidding. There's a lot of healing that needs to go around, and we know that music is the great communicator. I travel around and I use the flute a lot, and I'm always amazed on the effect that it has on people. And the flute music, and music in general, seems to transcend cultures, transcend languages, talking directly to our hearts. Severin and I came up with this little piece called The Jingle, and it was an underscore for my Auntie Carolyn, who is a jingle dress dancer, as she told the wonderful, beautiful story of the jingle dress. And the next group coming up will elaborate perhaps a little bit more of some of our dances. But this next little jingle is called The Jingle underscore. Oh, Chimigwich. Thank you, everybody. We have a few more songs and a few more stories up here for you. For us Anishinaabe, us Ojibwe, a lot of our storytelling has to do with that shape-shifting element. So as I travel all over the United States and all over the world, I enter a lot of classrooms with a lot of kids. So I make these masks, and whenever I tell stories, I kind of shape-shift into these different characters. Yes. And this next song that I'm going to share with you and story is all about the ondag, all about the crow. And it said that at one time the ondag was one of the most beautiful colored birds out there, that within his plumage was all the different colors of the rainbow, and he would just sit there and pose for us humans, and we would just be in awe of how beautiful this bird was. In addition to being one of the most beautiful colored birds out there, he also had one of the most beautiful singing voices. It sounded like all the collective songbirds on Mother Earth singing through one bird. And he would just sit there and sing to us, and we would just be in awe of how beautiful his voice was. And he loved us humans unconditionally, and we loved him back unconditionally. And he would look at his human relatives, and he would realize that we were living life in a really pitiful kind of way, that we could not keep ourselves warm, that we could not feed ourselves properly, that we did not yet have the gift of fire. So the Ondag, he took it upon himself to fly to the sun to harness some energy for his human relatives. And as he set out on his long journey, the closer and closer he got to the sun, the more and more all of his beautiful feathers that were all the different colors of the rainbow started to singe and turn black. He would make his way to the surface of the sun, where he would reach out a talon and he would reach down to the surface, and that too would become scorched and turn black. He would yell with his beautiful singing voice, and that too would become burnt, and his voice would sound harsh and raspy after that. He would gather up some of that fire, and he made his long way back to Mother Earth, where he would gift us fire. And we as humans rejoiced, because now we could feed ourselves properly. Now we could keep ourselves warm. Yes, but we very much saw the sacrifices that the Ondag has made for us. No longer were his feathers all the different colors of the rainbow. Now they were burnt black. And even his beautiful singing voice was now burnt harsh and raspy. This is the story of the Ondag, or the crow. And when you see a crow out there now, and the sunlight hits him just right, you will see a reflection of that rainbow in his black feathers. And that's to remind us of the sacrifices that the Ondag has made for us. Not only his sacrifices, but of all the animals that sacrifice so that we as humans may survive and thrive here. The crow, he taught us where the food was, out in the woods. And he is one of the smartest birds out there. We never see a crow hit on the side of the road, because they always have a lookout up into the trees. And whenever they see a car coming by, he yells out to his buddies, "Caw, caw, caw." Yes, I'm a teacher and a dad. This next song I'm going to share with you is called "The Trickster." Oh,
Miigwichniji. Thank you, my friend. So, getting close to the end here. Oops, let me find the right page. Oh, I don't even know what I did with that. Anyways, so when I was growing up, I came from a very Catholic family. My grandfather was sent to one of those Catholic boarding schools. He was one of the lucky ones, though. His family was still close by. But while he was away at school, he was losing his language. They were cutting his hair. He was losing his culture. His family was still back home, but they were also kind of being assimilated into the Catholic culture. But again, he was lucky because his family was still there. This next song I'm going to sing for you. It was written in 1968 by Sir Paul McCartney, and that kind of reflects on that too, because this song was written because of what he saw with civil rights being taken away. And a dear friend of mine, a great Native historian and linguist, Miss Lisa Clemens, she translated this song into Ojibwe. And it's something that I'm always trying to learn. I know a few words here and there and a few phrases. I could never hold a conversation with someone in Ojibwe Mauen. But I always try and teach myself new things with it. But ladies and gentlemen, here is Blackbird. Dibakak nagamo asiganak Gigakwebe misebuka ningwian Gapebe madazian Gibi he tatai nakamigak Dibakak nagamo asiganak Gigashukwejian haye kazian Gibebe madazian Gibi he tada wikwaji tuyan Bimazia siganak Bimazia Bimazina siganak Bimazina siganak Was it connected on a message Dibakak nagamo asiganak Gigakwebe misebuka ningwian Gibebe madazian Gibi he tata wikwaje tuyan Gibi he tata wikwaje tuyan Glitch.
Chimigwich. Thank you very much, Kevin. Miskobineshiin. Aho. The Ojibwe language is important. All of our indigenous languages are important. My grandmother used to say, encoded within that language are how we are supposed to treat each other. Take, for instance, that word when I came out here, Nindanawe Magini Duk. Hello to all my relatives. But I just wasn't talking to my biological relatives, my aunts, my uncles, my nieces, nephews. I was honoring and acknowledging what we believe is that living spirit in all things. So I was honoring that living spirit in that tree, that living spirit in that river, and even acknowledging that living spirit that lives in that rock. And when you come from a whole continent, a whole community of people that believe everything has a spirit, it makes it that much harder for us just to take and take and take. And we are all indigenous from Mother Earth. I just got back from Europe. I spent a couple weeks over there touring around with some of our European relatives, and they very much liked the culture that I was bringing to them because they had expressed that their own culture had been taken from them, that they've been ruled so long by kings and queens and monarchies and Romans and churches that their own indigenous languages were severed from them, and they very much longed to reconnect to their Celtic roots, their Nordic roots. They were teaching Welsh in the school systems over there, and the people were ecstatic about that, about getting back to a more holistic way of looking at things. And those stories and languages are still there for us to learn today. This next song that we're going to share with you is called The Spirit Traveler, and it's all about us coming together, celebrating each other's diversities, and in doing so, finding that unity. Celebrating each other, rising each other up. We as Americans today, we understand and we realize that we're not just a nation of immigrants, but we're a nation with immigrants, with Native Americans, and with African Americans who have all contributed to make this place what it is today. And as long as we respect each other's cultures, each other's stories, each other's hearts, we will be taken care of. This next song is all about that journey, all about the human experience, all about us resonating together as one people. My friend Bill Miller, he's fond of saying, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one race, the human race. And I always find that just to be a powerful saying. Chimigwich, thank you guys for joining us out there and sticking it out with us. Aho Chimigwich, everybody out there. Thank you again for coming out and joining us. We'll leave you off with one final song called The Seven Grandfather Teachings. And I know I brought up a little bit my grandmother and her stories, but I'd like to bring up a grandfather story as well. You know, grandfathers, I know you guys are out there and you hold a lot of wisdom. And when I was a young brave learning how to hunt, you know, my grandfather would say, first you have to be strong and train hard. I said, well, why is that, Grandpa? And he said, well, you know, you'll be as strong as me one day where you could run right alongside the deer. And as you're running alongside the deer, you can use your mokum, your knife, and you can start to dress him. And he said, by the time the deer hits the ground, he will already be all field dressed, and I'll take him home to feed you guys. And he said, not only that, you have to be smart too. He said, you got to be so smart, smarter than those animals. I said, well, how do we do that, Grandpa? He said, well, first we're going to find the deer run. Then we're going to place a big rock on there. He said, then we're going to put some pepper on that rock. And when those deer, those Wawash Geishe, when they come across that path, they'll see that rock, they'll get curious, they'll come over there, and they'll sniff it, and they'll end up snorting that pepper up into their nose, and then they'll sneeze. And when they sneeze, they'll hit their head on that rock, and then they'll knock themselves out. And then we can come up and help ourselves. Yes, yes. Those are some grandfather stories that you guys can pass on out there. And remember, the first mosquito that bites you, if you eat it, no more mosquitoes will mess with you for the rest of the season. Oh, pass that one on too. This next song is about the 7 grandfather teachings of love, respect, humility, trust, honesty, truth, wisdom. And these ways are still there to help guide us. If you guys want to learn more about some of the stories that we covered, some of them are in a book called the Mishomis Book by author Severin Behnen. If you want to know more about traditional culture, powwow etiquette, Anton Troyer has a book called Everything You Wanted to Know About an Indian But Was Afraid to Ask. And in there, it's just a wonderful resource about why we have long hair, powwow etiquette, and stuff like that. But of course, we will learn some powwow etiquette with the next group coming up here. Once again, thank you very much. We hope you found this educational and entertaining. So, Chimigwich, everybody, we'll leave you off with the 7 grandfather teachings.
Respect, honesty, humility, courage, wisdom, truth,
Zawin, Gaya Shem Moyen, Zunge Etewin, Nibaka win, Dubwe win, Get the win, Minajit the win, Gaya Quadiz win, Gupas in the Moyen, Zunge Etewin. Nibaka win, Dubwe win,
Miigwech, Misho, Missa, Miigwech, Misho, Missa, Miigwech.
Show me son, Jimmy Miigwech.
Wow, wow. We are so honored to have you share your stories, your music, your wisdom with us this afternoon. Let's hear it again. Our small audience had an amazing treat, so thank you so very much. Thank you. It's not done yet. We're just going to have a very brief sort of changeover while we say goodbye to our friends here from the Red Cliff and welcome our friends from the Turtle Lake Band of Chippewa. So use the next couple of minutes to grab something to eat down by the boathouse, visit the Ojibwe pony, beautiful, beautiful artwork, jewelry work to my side. So see you in just a couple minutes.
At this time, we were going to call what we call in our powwow circuits is an intertribal song as we come out and gather. And if you folks have been here before and done some of the dancing here, you're more than welcome to want to come participate. We are going to come seek you out later for a dance. So I just want to forewarn you. But let's get this show on the road. And really thank you for being here at Hudson RiverFest. And this performance is sponsored by the St. Croix Chippewa Indians of Wisconsin and NATOW, the Native American Tourism of Wisconsin. Say Chiwi Miigwech for Mr. Michael Charette for his flute playing and storytelling. He was the gentleman from Red Cliff is doing us proud as our Anishinaabe people are very talented artists. All right, intertribal time. Aho, rain and thunder. Take it away. Aho, aho. How about a round of applause? Raining Thunder and the St. Croix Chippewa into the Wisconsin dance troupe. You know, the St. Croix Chippewa dance troupe has been well known for a number of decades now. We got a few that were, when they were a lot younger, participated. My son Brandon is here singing today. He's one of former dance at this show a few years. But he's also been to Japan, Australia, performing these kind of dances and exhibitions for folks across the world. They also got to participate in the Salt Lake Olympics and had a village where they danced for all the goers that came to the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake. So, you know, these folks really are proud of representing their tribe, showing their culture. That's why we're here. We're going to have you, our dancers, introduce themselves shortly. But I want to tell you guys, folks, we also have some outstanding arts and crafts to my left over here. I know Creative Indigenous is here. This woman is known throughout the entire country, folks, with her birch bark craft. Does a wonderful job. She pointed out that she knows who made this and it wasn't her, so I gotta expect I'm gonna have to go buy one from her in the very near future. So we're happy that they're here. We also have some Native American style food over there, hopefully some fry bread and some stuff to go with it. Make sure you take the time to go and have some authentic Native American cuisine done by authentic Native Americans. And we have a tribal elder, Lisa Mose, over there leading the charge. And I would say, Chimigwech, Lisa, if you can hear us. We really thank you for being here. She comes every year, and she's very proud to represent her community from Round Lake as well as the St. Croix Chippewas in Wisconsin. Speaking of the St. Croix Chippewa in Wisconsin, you know, we are made up in 3 counties in northwestern Wisconsin where we have land base in 3 different counties, Burnett County, Polk County, and Barron County. Now, the tribe is also an economic tool for the northwestern Wisconsin because they supply so many jobs. They're number 1 or 2 and 3 in those counties that provide jobs, provide you know, tax revenue for the state and the local municipalities as well. In addition to that, though, we're very proud at some of the things that we're doing at St. Croix. We just launched our first tribal processing building where we're teaching. We have classrooms there. We're teaching our future generations about the harvesting, the traditional ways, as being pioneers of the wild rice processing. You know, when the Creator provided this food on the water. And that's where the Ojibwe came from, here in the Great Lakes and the Northern Plains. The Chippewa, the Ojibwe, are actually one of the largest indigenous tribes in the country. We are broken up in different bands, as we call them. We have 6 here in Wisconsin. We have 7, I believe, in Minnesota and another 6 in Michigan. I'm proud to tell you that an associate who generally is here with us, and I hope, I know Bruce had some words for him as well, as a dear friend, my best friend. His name is Pete LeBlanc. He suffered an illness last year, and he is slow on that recovery, but he was instrumental in helping me reform the Chippewa Federation when we comprised the 6 tribes here in Wisconsin. Our work allowed us to branch out and add a couple of tribes out of Michigan, and then a few years back we were very honored to have the Menominee Nation here in Wisconsin join the Chippewa Federation, as we have similar issues that we support and advocate for and have a sovereign responsibility to protect. And then just about a couple of months after that, we actually had the 6 Minnesota Chippewa tribes join the Chippewa Federation. And we also included a tribe that's not federally recognized, but is near and dear to a lot of the Anishinaabe people here as we go up every year and we celebrate an anniversary at Sandy Lake, and that's the Sandy Lake Band that are up there in Minnesota. So we've been meeting every other month talking about issues affecting Indian country and the tribes here in the ceded territory that are connected to the 1837, 1842, 1854 treaties. Those are treaties that allowed for ceding of some things within our boundaries, but we never ceded our land and we never ceded anything over our waters. And it's very important to point out because we have a sovereign responsibility to ensure that we have clean water, clean air, clean medicine, and clean food. And so we take that sovereign responsibility very serious. Because we are at a higher rate of a lot of health ailments out there, it's critical that we have access to and give our people an option to treat themselves, especially with plant-based medicines that we now know with a lot of data coming out across the United States, it's having tremendous, tremendous effects. And people, more and more people, our elders, our veterans are switching to plant-based and having better success with the better opportunity for a quality of life that we know the current system is not providing. And that's at least in the people that I've talked to over the last 10 years on this issue. It's near and dear in my heart. And that's also one of my responsibilities for the St. Croix Chippewa, as well as the Chippewa Federation and the tribes of Wisconsin. We do a lot of work with them folks. So at this time, we are going to have our, we're going to sing one more intertribal, then I'm going to have the male dancers do an expedition, and then I'll have the female dancers come out here and do a dance expedition as well. And I'm going to have our head singer, Bruce, who does a lot of work with me over the years. Him and I have been doing this since the 1970s, folks. I kid you not. And we've loved every second, singing and dancing and touring and doing all these shows. But Bruce is going to talk a little bit about the different regalia, the dancing, the women and the men. He's going to give a little overview when we have those folks come and introduce themselves. But first, we're going to have one more intertribal. So let's give her a holler. A-ho! Yeah, folks, I got to tell you, I'm really excited of the special guests that we have here. Not only do we have our dancers here for the St. Croix Chippewa Indians of community, but we also have a special guest from the Miskobineshiin in Tama, Iowa, here dancing with us, and I'll let them introduce themselves after this song. But I just wanted to make sure that we let them know that the people of St. Croix, we say Chimigwech for coming and participating with us and showcasing your style as well. And these folks, they have a world-famous name attached to them. I've known Kiana's for a long time, so aho, take it away, Rain and Thunder.
Hey!
Let's hear it for our male dancers and Rain in Thunder. What a beautiful song. Let's give them a hand. Let's give them a hand. Thank you very much. Again, another round of applause, please. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm going to give our singers a little bit of a break here. One of the things I can tell you is when our drum groups get into powwow mode, folks, they really got to get into that mode. And we're talking 3-4 day powwows here in the summertime in this kind of heat. So you see this towel here? This is a requirement for singers when they hit that powwow trail. So if you see them having it on, you know they've been here. Or for a lot of them, 90 minutes ain't nothing for them. But no, seriously, I really appreciate what these guys are doing. They really are putting a lot to their voices today. At most of the powwows, we have a lot of multiple drums that are there, so it kind of gives our singers a little bit of break and let their voices kind of reset. So, but they are also used to these kind of performances where they have to be a one-man show, so we really appreciate that. So at this time, I want our male dancers to come on up and introduce themselves. And I'm going to pass the mic on. I hope.
Check. Hello, my name is Dennis Kiana III. As he already stated, Meskwaki, half Meskwaki, quarter Ho-Chunk, and quarter Omaha. We just drove up here from Tama, Iowa, me and my son, Dason Kiana. And also my daughter, Melody Kiana, she's over here. She's in a little jingle dress, the one walking around over here, if you've seen her. We came up here with my girlfriend, my Jackie Mallory. She's sitting over there. But thank you, Gadabi, for all of you being here. I appreciate this opportunity to be able to showcase our dancing skills and our styles. Thank you.
My name is Jason Kiana. Oh, hi, my name is Braylon, and I'm a grass dancer, and I'm from, Croix.
Oh, folks, how about that, huh? They start young here. We got to make sure that they get in front of these mics and have very comfortable. You'll see that with a lot of our ladies as well. As I mentioned, our special guest here from Tama, the Kianas, there is a gentleman by the name of Dennis Kiana that was so well known throughout the powwow communities in the 1970s and 80s, and was a good friend of my dad's as well. So it really touches my heart to see the future generations carrying this strong as we go forward. I get that joy every time I see my son dance. So thank you very much. Again, what are we ready for? Yeah, this time we're going to bring the women out. And we're going to let them dance, and then we're going to let them introduce themselves. So, all my female dancers must be on the floor for that pay window. No, I'm just kidding. Come here first. Come here. I'm going to let this lady introduce herself. She's another special guest here. She is one of our royalty, so I'm going to let her introduce herself and which she carries, banner.
Bonjour, Anin, Babi Tukishikukwe, and Dishnakas, Owanjaba, Wawiegamug. Hi, my name's Harmony. I come from Round Lake Community, and I'm proudly representing Miss St. Croix Casino 2025 till 2026. Thank you for coming with the weather. Stay hydrated. Thank you.
Oh, folks, I'm going to tell you something really, really to us touches our heart. This is like fourth generation here, okay? And that makes it important that I point this out, that we lost an icon in Ojibwe country, Indian country, St. Croix. Her name was Miskobineshiin. Aho! That is her great-granddaughter, if I get that right. Granddaughters. I'm catching it. If she was here, I'd be catching hell. I'll tell you that. But no, she has done a lot for Indian country as an advocate for the tribe and our government. But she also made a point to give back to her community and to our tribe. She made it a passion to make moccasins and teach all our kids in our communities to make moccasins. I'm kicking myself right now because the pair she gave me are sitting right on my table as I left this morning. And I feel bad about that, but I guarantee I'll be having them on next year. She meant so much to us. She's in a lot of different museums, a lot of her work. She's an author. But the biggest thing is she's been as an icon, a significant part of the St. Croix, Chippewa, and also Indian country. So I want to mention Miskobineshiin again because she meant so much to all of us. We have a lot of her family here. I worked with her for a number of years. She was near and dear to my heart. I had the honor of introducing her at a museum as they took some of her display, her moccasins, and put them in the museum. What a tremendous honor that was given to me by her and her family. And those are the things that I cherish in the work that we do. Because those are the fringe benefits of a lot of the work that we are forced to do in our jobs, and it turns into other things. It's allowed me to do a lot of different honoring for a lot of different things that go on in St. Croix, and I'm forever blessed. So, all right, we're going to get the women out here and give them a show, and then they're going to introduce themselves. So, give her, I hope, rain and thunder. Women, huh? Ho! Aho, aho, let's give them a big hand. The life givers for all of us, our women, proudly displaying their dance styles. Now, ladies, don't get too far. We're going to have you guys come and introduce yourselves. The royalty is excused from this, so she already did her introduction, and she's shaking her head at me, so I keep aware of that. So I'm gonna hand the microphone, and ladies, please come up and introduce yourselves and what community you're from. Aho.
Hi, I'm Autumn Sonnenberg. I'm from the St. Croix tribe. I'm a traditional dancer, and yeah. Bonjour, Anin, Nagisoko Indigenous. Hi, my name is Destiny. I come from the Round Lake Reservation.
Bonjour, Babida Sunukwe, Indigenous, Wawiegama, Kiwenjba. Hi, my name is Angie Jones. I'm from the Round Lake community. Usually I'm a jingle dress dancer, but today I'm doing traditional. Miigwech.
Bonjour, Midway Bikwe, Indigenous Cause, Kanumatawenga, Singing Dunjba, Mushkade Bishiki. Hi, my name is Justina. Thank you for coming.
Bonjour, Kirikakuns, Indigenous Cause, Kanumatawenga, Singing Dunjba, Mushkade Bishiki Ndudem. Hi, my name is Jasmine Long. I am from the Maple Plain community of St. Croix, and I am a jingle dress dancer. Thank you guys all for coming, and yeah, stay hydrated.
Bonjour, my name is Jackie Mallory. I am from the Maple Plain community. I usually dance jingle, but today I'm a traditional dancer. My Indian name is Miskobineshiin, which means a red cloud woman. And that is my little baby that I was chasing around.
Ha madakyapi impetu washte yuha imakia do sinawa chak piwi. Hi, my name is Caroline. That's my English name. My Dakota name is Star Blanket Woman. And Padamia ye and enjoy this beautiful day.
I want to take an opportunity just to explain a little bit about that last dance. Basically what it is it's called a healing dance. Our women have the power of life, and they give us life. So when we sing those special songs for them and they dance, it's a healing power that comes from all of us, as all the way from being inside of our mothers and growing. And I want to explain a little bit about that beat, that style of that beat. Can you give me that beat that we just had for the women, please? What does that sound like? Anybody in the audience, raise your hand. What does that sound like? Exactly. Wonderful. That's informative right there. That's the heartbeat. The heartbeat of our Mother Earth, the heartbeat of our mothers, the heartbeat of our grandmothers. All of those things that we participate in revolves around a circle. Hence, the drum is a circle. And then hence our ladies dance in a circle. So the different categories that we have here is, Autumn, can you stand up please? This is probably the oldest style of dancing there is, traditional. And Jackie, where did she go? She's wearing her dress wherever she's at. She just introduced herself, probably chasing baby around, my little namesake chasing her around. Oh no, she's right here, her. Yeah, right here. This is an applique style, and these are traditional dancers right here, these beautiful ladies right here. How about a nice round of applause for them? Okay. And then we have also our jingle dress dancers. Can you step forward, please? These young ladies are wearing what they call a jingle dress. Now the story behind that jingle dress is originally from the Canada area, but it was on the border of Minnesota and Canada, where a man had a dream. And that grandfather in his dream instructed them to heal a certain little girl who was bedridden. And that little girl, she couldn't even hardly move. She had to be taken care of. And so what they did was they brought her into an arbor, a circle, basically a dance hall setting. And what they did was they laid her on a blanket. And they instructed these men to use that heartbeat beat to help heal that little girl. And with that came some of those songs, and they sang those 4 healing songs for her. Well, as she watched them dance around, as they're dancing, she turned over and she watched them as they went around. And then on the second round, she was sitting up during that song. She sat up. And on that third song, she actually stood up because of the healing power that these jingles make. Can you girls shake your jingles a little bit? There you go. That healing power that has brought her attention and brought her up with that healing. On that fourth song, she actually got out there and started dancing with those ladies. And that lady eventually became to be a healer. She used that dress, the medicines that we're giving, that we get from our Mother Earth, to cleanse and to purify people and to heal them in their sicknesses. So that's the story of our Jingle Dress Dancers. And thank you for listening. That's just short version, but we're going to try and share as much as we can with you. Thank you. You'll notice this young lady, she has the leather on her regalia here, and the other one was more of an applique. But the original style that they used was this. They used the leather, like the purse that she's having with the floral design, which is woodland from our area, our tribe, the Ojibwe tribe. But the Dakota have their own style as well, more of a geometric type floral design, but it's universal. And basically everything we honor is everything that grows from our Mother Earth and gives us sustenance. So with that in mind, we'd like to ask anyone on this next intertribal to come on down and maybe get in here in this circle if you would. Better yet, how about if we have each and every dancer, if you could go choose someone from the audience to come down and participate in this circle as a healing. We would like for you to please not to refuse and just come on up, and we'll make it a short song, maybe just a couple of push-ups for you all, and just join in and follow a step and dance to the rhythm, the heartbeat of our Mother Earth. So, okay, go on out, go grab somebody and invite them down in a good way to come and join us in an intertribal. We got one? We got one brave soul right there. All right. Thank you, Miigwech, for coming on down, joining us. You might be able to, oh yeah, we got some youngsters, they can make that step up. I can't make that step no more. I'll fall down. All right, yeah, there we go. That's what we're, wonderful. Come on down. Anybody else that hasn't been chosen, you're very welcome to come on down and join and swing and sway the Anishinaabe way, or the Dakota way, or the Meskwaki way, or wherever your tribe is from. Okay, here we go. Yeehaw! Thank you. How about a nice round of applause for all of our dancers and those that came to join in. You're more than welcome to stay up here if you'd like. We're going to run into intertribal if you'd like to join in that as well. You're more than welcome to. So we're going to sing one more intertribal. I don't know where Mike's at before he gets back, but we're going to do another one real quick. Intertribal singing and dancing. Aho, come on down and join us. All right, good jamming, good singing, good dancing, good participation, good spectating. Beautiful, beautiful people. And we go back to Mike. Uh-huh.
Oh, miigwech, Bruce, thank you for that, folks. Have you had a great time here today, folks? Seen some wonderful singing and dancing. We sure appreciate you guys being here. I think we're going to finish off with one more song before we let you guys enjoy the rest of the other amenities and things that are going on here at Hudson RiverFest. Really can't thank the committee enough for all the planning and preparation and the patience, Evie. I love that lady. She's been working with tribes for 10, 15 years. We appreciate you too, Evie. So thank you guys. So once again, from the St. Croix Chippewa Indians of Wisconsin here in beautiful northwestern Wisconsin, I say chi miigwech for your patience, your audience, for dancing. Feel free to dance this last one if you want, because this is the last. Let that spirit, let that flow, let that vibe flow out there. Again, to my dancers and singers, I say chi miigwech. Safe travels to everybody. Have a great time. We don't say goodbye. We say gigawabman. Aho.